him to get ready to come back for pre-season, because he's had such a disrupted time with injuries again?
Yeah, that's always important for all of us. But for Ox, it's exactly the same. You can say exactly the same about each player. So when you are not in a starting, and when you don't start games, then you have to use each training session and each minute on the pitch in a game to convince. Actually, I don't have to be convinced, to be honest. But it's about showing up in these kind of situations. And Oxlade had really good moments. Trains good in a moment. I have to say, really well. That's really good. That this situation is not easy for the boys. Not only him. It's for Naby not easy. It's for Shaq not easy. For some other players not easy. I know that. But how I said, during that season, a lot of things happened, and the one thing we tried to get, and when we got it, to keep it, was balance and rhythm, stability. That means that you don't change them on these kind of positions too often, and in between the games, and that's it pretty much. So we need a few things. With always having a different defense, a few things in midfield need to be different to other times when we were much more settled, much more stable, and that's the reason why some players don't have enough minutes. In their understanding, for sure, even in my understanding, that's completely clear. But that will hopefully change next year completely, because when you have more stability in the last line, then you can be more flexible formation-wise, further up front the pitch.
Okay, thanks, Don. We'll go to Andy. Sorry, you've got to follow. Go on, Don.
I was just going to say, so I mean, he's someone you counted on for next season. I mean, your faith in him has never sort of wavered.
No. Yes. First yes, then no.
Yeah. Great stuff. Thank you.
Andy from The Guardian.
Hi, Jürgen. I know Roberto Firmino's influence on the team has never been measured in terms of goals and everything. But I just think his difficulties this season, what do you put them down to? And do you think it's a long-term worry, or is it a reflection of the problems of this particular strange season?
It's a mix. It's for sure a result of the season, 100%. But as well, it's when the boys up front don't score as often as we are used to, then that's, of course, that doesn't help in these moments. But anyway, it's not dreamland. So you have to go through these periods. But of course, it's temporary and not forever. No doubt about that. Bobby is not old or tired or something like that, or lost everything. Not at all. We see everything in training. We have to make sure that we bring that more often on the pitch. That's not only for Bobby. You asked about Bobby, but that's a general thing for us. And that's it. Well, I said the season was not a season where so far where we got a proper flow and things were clicking game after game. We had to work incredibly hard. I mean, you have to work incredibly hard and have to think about different things. So let me say like this: when we lost our defense stability a little bit because of the injuries, everybody had to do differently in protection, in defending, in all these kind of things. That keeps you a yard further back, or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. That keeps your focus away from an offensive situation, because you think already, if we lose the ball, we have to make sure that we get it back. All these kind of things. So it's really very complex. There was a lot of complex things that happened this year, and that's why it was. So far this season, we saw there's absolutely no excuse, and hopefully that got clear. But it's a description of the situation. And Bobby's in one example for it. But Bobby's in a good moment. Actually, he plays really well, and so that's good.
Thanks, Andy. Chris McKenna, and then we'll finish with Dave, I think.
It might be kind of a follow-on from that, but on Thiago, it's obviously not been a very easy season for him to come in to with everything that's going on. But how do you kind of see getting the best out of him? Does he need to slightly adapt? Does the way the midfield operates need to adapt? But how do you kind of...
No, that happened already. So Thiago is became in a really difficult season a very important player for us. So that's probably the most important thing what you can say about it, because He started really well and got then a bad injury, annoying injury as well, because it took really long. Coming back then in a team where it's not clicking, as a football player, not like he works a lot and is a really good, hardworking guy, but comes rather from the technical side. Was used to different patterns at Munich and all these kind of things. So it's just not a year where a new signing just shines, especially in midfield. So Thiago then is in moments a little bit easier. Even we had as well a really difficult injury. Because he finished situations off. Was not so much involved in the creating, but creating is the moment when really different things have to work out together, and that's why it was difficult for Thiago. But we are completely happy with him, and we will see the best. I don't think we saw it already, but that's not a problem. But we are 100% convinced we will get the best out of him because he's a world-class player.
Thanks, Chris. And then finish with Dave Malik. Final question.
Jürgen, you're obviously facing up to the prospect of not finishing in the Champions League. I just wonder, how difficult is that going to be next season if you don't make it, when you've got a team full of international stars who are used to now playing at the very, very highest level and being involved in that competition? How difficult is it going to be to manage that situation?
I don't have a problem, but maybe it starts. We are not kids in a candy shop, which is not getting the candies. So, but stands there. So we are responsible for the situation we are in, and nobody will watch next year's Champions League and lying in front of television and cry if we are not involved. So that's the situation in football. It's completely normal, but that will not be a challenge. If somebody would struggle with that, hopefully I would realize that early and could sort that situation then early. I'm pretty sure I would recognize it early. So again, the good things happened in the last few years. We did together, and this season we did together as well. And the reaction on that season we will show together as well. So that's clear, and that's what it's difficult now. We speak always, it's like really strange a little bit. I sit here, we speak. Some think we have still a chance for the Champions League. For that, we have to be concentrated on that. Some people obviously think we don't have a chance anymore, so we should already write the season off. But we have still 5 games to play and talk about a new season. It's a bit strange. So we play Southampton tomorrow. Then we play Manchester United and so on. So we have obviously some games to play now, and we will 100% be focused on that, deal with our situation, make the best of it. Then we have some of us quite a long summer, and we will try to use that summer, and we will use that summer to get back full of energy, full of power, and we go again, and we'll see what's that. But it's really, we can't always talk about 5 things in the same moment, pretty much. Tomorrow Southampton, that needs really our full focus, absolutely, because of the way they play especially, and so all the rest we will sort. You can trust me.